Winter has always been a deep season of reflection for me, and this season I have really surrendered myself to the stillness it invites in. I've spent my days journaling, spending alone time in nature, meditating, doing yoga, and just connecting to the stillness of my breath. So I wanted this video to be a digital resting place for your minds, for myself, and I wanted to invite you guys along with me on a weekend doing all of the things that I love, wintering deeply, spending time in nature, journaling, eating good food, and playing some sound bowls in one of my favorite places in the world. So come along with me, and I hope that this inspires you to invite some stillness into your life. Today I am going on a really fun adventure. I have an opportunity to go and explore one of my favorite towns, somewhere I grew up exploring because it's right at my fingertips. So I'm going to take you guys along with me. I am going to be staying right on the river at the base of one of my favorite mountains, the root chakra capital of the entire world, and just spending a weekend in the woods in my favorite place in the world. Once we arrived, snowflakes immediately started to fall from the sky, so we decided to go out on a quick walk before hunkering down for the evening. And naturally, the walk immediately turned into a snowball fight where we played for hours before we tired ourselves out and returned back to camp for a slow, cozy evening in the cabin. We made dinner, I prepared some hot chocolate and tea, and we cozied up by the fire where we spent a few hours journaling, reading, and just enjoying the cozy evening with the snow falling out the window. I have always been an early riser, waking up earlier than the rest of my families, waking up before all of my friends at sleepovers, and I think it's because I love the stillness that the morning invites in. A moment to pause and connect with yourself and the elements before you have to interact with the rest of the world. This morning, I woke up to an absolutely beautiful winter wonderland out the window. I made myself some mushroom coffee, and I just sat by the window for an hour journaling and writing and reflecting on this past season of my life. I'm always so deeply grateful for winter, for the opportunity to just slow down and see clearly everything that I need to. The white snow was reminding me of the blank slate that winter really does offer the cycles of our life. I used to really wish away winter. I hated the cold, I hated the stillness, I yearned for the sun and the busyness, but recently I've been really seeing winter as an opportunity to connect back with myself. The snow on this morning reminded me that winter can act as a blank slate where we can just really take a pause and reflect and invite in some clarity for what we want to build in our next cycle, the seeds that we want to plant and grow in our internal spring. So this is what I was doing. I was journaling on my past cycle of life, the things that I no longer want to bring with me into my next season, and really reflecting on how my body is asking for rest and for clarity and the things that I do want to grow. I have been dealing with a lot of internal battles, if you may, with what I want to do with my life, if I want to return back to school, and there is a deep knowing inside of us that we can hear and see clearly when we take the time to invite in stillness. So I just wanted this to be a gentle reminder to connect back to your body, connect back to your intuition, and to find some stillness in this yin season where the weather outside is wet and our internal state is asking for calmness. And another one of my favorite ways to support my body during this season is with adaptogenic herbs, specifically this blend of traditional Chinese medicine herbs. I love to add it to my warm drinks in the morning at breakfast. I'm grateful for Mother Earth for providing us all of this nourishing food, for all of the different colors that nourish the different areas of our bodies. I'm grateful for the pollinators for making it possible. I'm grateful to God for all of these opportunities. I'm grateful for herbs for offering an opportunity to heal naturally and holistically. And I'm grateful for warm drinks on cold mornings. And I'm grateful to be living the life that little me always wanted to.
Nice.
Amen.
Amen.
Cheers.
Amen. had scrambled eggs in like years.
After breakfast, we headed out on a snowy winter hike where we got absolutely soaked because we kept throwing snowballs at each other and just taking the time to soak in the snow. Both of us haven't been in snow like this in a really long time, so it was really fun. We hiked to one of my favorite waterfalls that I grew up going to, and it was my first time seeing it in the snow, especially with snow falling. It was absolutely magical. I kept saying that I felt like I was in a dream. It was beyond words, just constantly in amazement of the beauty of nature. And honestly, I spent the entire hike reflecting on the importance of play and how, as we've grown up, we tend to forget of the importance of just dropping in with ourselves and embracing our inner child, being silly. I tend to err on the side of seriousness. Even as a kid, I was pretty serious and reflective and poetic, and I always kind of forget about the parts of myself that need that silliness and that play. So this entire hike, we embraced those parts of ourselves. We threw snowballs at each other, and I found myself feeling extremely grateful for snow for being that constant for me. I feel like most of us can relate to that feeling as a kid when it was a snow day and we got to stay home from school and build snowmen and all of those fun, exciting things. So that's what this weekend was for me. It was returning back to that inner child and allowing myself to play. The next morning, I rose before Brock again, and I spent some alone time in the morning before we packed up all our stuff to depart from the cabin and spend a day on the town before heading back down the mountain and then up the mountain back to my house. Okay, I wanted to show you guys where Brock and I have been sleeping when we're staying at this cabin in the woods. There is a big bed downstairs. We're in a little tiny home, but there's a big bed downstairs and it's really cozy. But there's this loft up here with 2 little beds. I think it's for families with kids, but we wanted to stay up here because it's super cozy and just really cute and fun. So we've been staying in this little loft that overlooks the rest of the little tiny home, and it's super pretty because there's a ton of snow outside. But yeah, I've been sleeping in this little bed and Brock's sleeping in that one. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys how cozy it is in these little tiny homes by the river. We've been having a really good time. I'm just cooking up breakfast. I'm making eggs in an Ezekiel wrap, and we're having a bunch of fresh fruit and warm mushroom coffee. And then, yeah, we're leaving today. We're going to go into town and probably go thrifting at some of my favorite thrift stores that I went to growing up all of high school. Yeah, thrifting in mountain towns is the best. You find really cheap Patagonia, really nice mountain clothes, so hopefully they're open today. It's a Sunday. I know one of my favorite ones isn't open on a Sunday, and another one of my favorite ones closed down. So yeah, that's your sign to shop local because it supports local communities and can give local community members jobs. So yep. We ended the day by going to some of my favorite shops that I grew up going to, and it was so fun showing my boyfriend these aspects of my childhood. Then we went to my favorite spring to fill up a bunch of glass jars before heading back down the mountain and going home. I hope this video acted as a digital resting place for your mind and inspired you to find some moments of stillness. Until next time, I hope you connect with your breath today and spend some alone time in nature.